He shield himself, blinking, boom! Matu kill him without him proccing his borrowed time. Matu, that man has a family, man. And GG is caught right after. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video where today we will be watching the wonderful series between Team Liquid and Team Secret. Happened earlier today, where Team Liquid actually lost to Team Secret at the end of the day. So let's jump straight into it and talk about the game. So before we begin, I actually wanted to take a quick look at the table at the moment. Actually, I wanted to more to talk about the table before the game. We can see that Team Secret have 3 wins and 3 losses now, but before the game they actually only have 2 wins, which put them in the table same position as Tundra Esports, which is in the relegation zone. Can you imagine that? Team Secret in the relegation zone, but it is what it is. They were 2 to 3 before that, and I'm really happy for them. I'm actually rooting for them. I actually don't want to see Team Secret get relegated, but huge credit to them. They beat Team Liquid. And I would say before the game with Team Liquid, score was 4-1, and the only team that beat them was Alliance. I think with that kind of scoreline, it's fair to say Team Liquid is the favorite. I think ever since Sumail joined them, they seems more solid. That is not a flame to Boxy, who left the team recently for family reasons. It's more towards just maybe Boxy wasn't playing with like full commitment, or he has something else in his mind or something, or maybe he's not even boot camping with them. I'm not too sure about that. But again, like I said, with Sumail in Team Liquid, I really think they look way more solid than before. Having said that, you know, we look at the game yesterday, we saw how Team Liquid lost Team Secret, I would say quite convincingly in all 3 games. Maybe the first game was a bit close, but we'll go more into that. Yeah, I actually just wanted to look at a table or that looks a little bit more even, especially between the top 5, top 6 team. I might even put Brame into the equation, although they just got promoted. They are 3 to 3 right now. Very good score for them, I would say. Yeah, it seems like Brame and Tundra Esports is the most likely to get relegated following Hellbear Smasher. I don't think Team Secret will fuck up so badly that they get relegated. It is still possible, but let's hope it doesn't. So let's talk about the game yesterday that happened. I think in all the 3 games, the closest one was the first game, where it went very even, and eventually Team Liquid took the win. And then in the second game, it was, in my opinion, very much in control by Team Secret. And the third game as well, if you look at the kill score, we can see very clearly 25-6. It was a huge stomp by Team Secret. And then in the second game, it was also a huge pretty stompy game by Team Secret, very much in control. In the first game is the one that I would want to put more focus on, just simply because both teams were more even. Although I would say Team Secret should be winning that game eventually, but they didn't. Okay, so we can look into the scoreboard and see what actually happened. So in the beginning, it was actually a very huge, pretty good lead build up by Team Liquid. If you look at just this graph, you can see there's quite a lot of back and forth, up and down. Eventually, Team Liquid took the victory. Wow, I didn't know the win probability was favoring them so much in the beginning just by looking at the draft. But anyway, I was trying to point out that at the 20 minutes mark, Team Liquid was building quite a huge lead, and actually with this lineup, you have a very snowball kind of lineup where you have Lash, you know, easy take your tower, and then you have Mickey on the faces Void and Magnus giving the free empower to him. So he should farm very, very, very well, and then that is why we are able to see that they are able to build quite a good net worth lead at here. But this is a problem with the draft, right? With a very snowball kind of draft. If you fuck up 1 or 2 fight, right, immediately, Matumba Man on the PA, and then you have the Puck, which is very elusive, very hard, difficult to catch. Once they start building a net worth of Matumba Man, boom, immediately they just shoot back up on the win probability to Team Secret's favor. And I also remember in Team Liquid, they were trying to play on this timing where they are supposed to just win the game and snowball and win at this moment, right? But it didn't happen to them. the item that they buy was very like preventing a lot of magic damage, so they try to mitigate the damage coming from Zai from the axe, and then Nisha coming with the orb, and then Yapzor with epicenter, even Puppy on his ulti and so on, and they were getting pipe and so on and so on. I was just thinking, dude, if this game go late, it is screwed for most of the hero, because if you don't buy armor item, the PA is just gonna shred, right? And I think at the end of the day, only Tiger have in mid game somewhere around this, only Tiger have the Solar Crest, and none of them are building any armor item. And I remember PA with just one dagger able to bring and it crit, of course, able to bring Sumail down to half HP with just one dagger. So at the moment, I just thought, okay, there's no way. It's very, very difficult for Team Liquid to win already. And then if you look at this graph, at this peak point, it was peak because Team Secret took a big team fight, and then they went to Roche, they took the Roche, right? And it is supposed to be an easy win for Team Secret already, but they took a horrendous fight, which they spent all their buyback in that fight, and then everyone died back. And then Team Liquid just roll with the win because Sumail on the level 25 Lash has the extra building damage thingy. So it just took down all the building, and they called GG. It was pretty crazy. If I'm gonna pick one MVP, I have to pick Insania on his position 5 Oracle. I think this guy is the best Oracle I have seen playing the game. And if anyone who's trying to learn how to play Oracle, right, you just watch how this man play. Because the most important thing about Oracle is about your positioning and your priority on who to save, right? Of course, you have your ulti to save someone, or maybe you have your I don't know what is the spell called that causes 0 magic damage on your ally, right? You can use that to save your teammate, but it's all single target, right? So when all the things happen at the same time, your priority is very, very important. And I remember specifically, there is one moment in this game where Insania was Team Liquid is taking Roche. It was a fight outside of Roche Pit, right? And Void, the Faceless Void basically got stunned, and then he got chain stunned for a bit, and then he was living on a sliver of HP, like 100 to 200 HP. Almost got burst down, and Insania on the Oracle, he didn't even blink. He didn't even care whether the Faceless Void die or not, because he has so much confidence, and he know the Faceless Void will not die in this engagement. He walked past Faceless Void to his ally Sumail, who also was getting gone on by another hero. Then he just saved him with some of his spell, and it's just think, dude, this guy is really crazy, man. It's just the understanding of a game is just next level, and I think and of course, when I say he's the best Oracle, it's not just based on this game. There's a lot of game I've seen Insania on his Oracle making a lot of clutch play, whether it's like last hit and then he save his teammate, and the positioning where he rarely get caught. Couldn't say the same for the second and third game, because I remember there is a moment where he was playing Grimstroke in the second game, and he just died to Turboman like 4 times in a row. Where he spawned, he walked to the jungle, he died, spawned to the jungle, he died 4 times in a row. It was it was just out of this world. I also want to talk a little bit about Zai actually. So if we look at all 3 games that he played, right? The first game was playing Beastmaster, second game was playing the Omni Knight, and then third game was playing Magnus. Actually, all 3 games, he is almost like a support, and that is actually very, very sacrificial for the team. I think it's very similar to how Nigma with Mind Control is usually a little bit more sacrificial, and then Yapzor on the position 4 is usually a little bit more greedy. So in all the 3 games, if you look at his net worth, right, he's legit a support net worth. I think at one point Yapzor was at, I think mid game or late game, Yapzor actually has more net worth than the Zai Beastmaster. I'm also not too sure why they're picking Beastmaster. Obviously it's good that they buff their stats a little bit, but they remove the thing that make him very scary, which is his axe, right? The Aghanim's Scepter with the axe and so on and so forth. I just don't think this hero is very viable anymore. I think it also play a part of why they lost the game, because I feel like in the late game he's just providing aura and then he roar and that's it. There isn't anything much more. And then on the Second game, Omni Knight obviously is a very supportish kind of hero. Basically, this is a very 4 protect 1 kind of lineup where they just push all their net worth to Matumba Man. I think this game as well, he's very under farm, but Omni Knight don't really need a lot of farm to be active. So on the third game, a little bit more balanced kind of off lane, but I think in this game as well, Yabzor in the position 4 rotated very early on, and then he was making a lot of stack in the jungle, and he was very active. So Zai on the off lane was also was left alone with against the IO carry. Um, he's just very sacrificial for the team, and I think with his caliber, he is able to survive a lot of the game. I think he's super underrated. The role that he played for the team. Beyond that, I would also like to highlight on the third game where I just briefly mentioned was the IO carry that was picked by Team Liquid, which was I think very it was very underwhelming, to be honest, this IO carry. And I think part of it is because if you think about it, the first time we see IO carry was in TI9, and that was about almost 2 years ago. And over the time, he just got nerfed and nerfed so many times that it might not be viable anymore. Even if it is viable, I think a lot of teams have already learned how to play against it. They know the IO needs a lot of time to get online, especially with all the nerf that we have seen, moving some of the talent to later to level 20 and so on and so forth. He need a lot of time to get online, and knowing that, Team Secret just stormed the shit out of them with Matumba Man playing flawless game, and Zai as well was very flawless, 3-0, 13, 7-0, and 9. Obviously, we can also talk about the underwhelming pick from Team Liquid. I'm not too sure what is this Sumail last pick, Gyrocopter. I'm not sure if they think it's a good thing or Sumail asked for it, because it was the last pick, and they already know it will be against Razor on the mid, right? Because it was the last pick. And knowing that, and he still lost the lane very badly. You pick a hero that will lost the lane so badly, and just doesn't really play an active role. Gyrocopter is not the kind of traditional hero where we like Amber or Void Spirit or like Park that is very active, right? But Gyro just want to farm, actually need a lot of farm to get on. Yes, you have IO Gyro as a combo, but it takes so much time to come online. By the time you do, Team Secret already just crush you down. It's not very active as well. Look at the lineup. You have Insania position 5 Abaddon, not an active hero, and then you have Quickfire on the LC, who is actually, if you look at the lineup, probably the only catch that they have. So he have to rush a Blink Dagger, but it never feels good to be an LC and just be the guy that jump in and duel and does nothing much after that. So yeah, at the end of the day, they lost the game because the draft was not balanced at all, I would say. Yeah. And talking about Legion Commander, there is also one thing that is very interesting that was brought up by the caster yesterday, where if you look at the Europe division, it was only picked 5 times, and out of the 5 times, it has a 40% win rate, which is pretty low. And the bigger difference is just it's only picked 5 times. It's a very low pick rate, right? But if you look at other region, especially in China, right, you can see Legion Commander is actually one of the most picked hero, right? It was ranked 12, 11, same as the AA, right? With 16th time of LC being picked and have a 56% win rate, much better win rate, and it just like China just seems to have a better way to make Legion Commander work. I'm not 100% too sure why and how, and this is part of a reason why we want Major to come back, right, where we see things like that, like LC have a very different pick rate. I've also seen like Southeast Asia and then NA and SA, basically not a lot of region is picking this hero, but the main thing is China is picking a lot of them and they're making him work. So there must be something that China is doing a little bit differently, and that is why we like to watch all this international competition to see like how team adapt and what kind of different approach that they have to Dota, and it would improve the scene as a whole. The quality of Dota usually improve when we see international competition like this, right? Going back to our upper division, If you want to check what are the upcoming games for this week, we have Alliance versus Smash. Smash, it is their last game in the upper division for this season. They are already relegated, unfortunately. Haven't win a single series, but I think they kind of have a point to prove where at least they will want to go out with a win, just for the pride. And for Alliance, on the other hand, it's probably the only game this season that they will play without a coach. We all know there's a bit of drama in there, so if they don't win without a coach, I don't know. There will be some people talking about some shit about them, but I don't think they give a shit. They're top of the league. Only lost once, and of course the mouth-watering clash between OG and Nigma, who is sitting at third. Both also sitting at third with the same score, 3-2, 8-5, 3-2, 8-5. I don't know who's gonna win with all the drama that's going on. I think Team Nigma probably have the upper hand, but it also depends on Miracle whether he's coming back or not. If he's not playing, I think Team OG is the favorite if Miracle is not playing. But if Miracle is playing, I would favor Team Nigma a little bit more. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again in the next one. Bye bye.